Hi there, I'm Ellie, your Vice President Education. Welcome to the Essential Online Rep Training video. By watching this video and answering a few questions at the end, you'll have all the essential knowledge you need to be a great rep. But don't forget, you can always come up to SUBU and ask me any questions at any time. Now over to Kerry, who's going to guide you through this video, starting with what is SUBU?
What is SUBU? SUBU is the Students' Union at Bournemouth University, and as part of that we run loads of opportunities that you guys can be involved with if you want to. From clubs and societies, to volunteering, to Nerve Media, our award-winning magazine and radio station. By 2016, SUBU will make a positive impact on every BU student's journey. That's what we hope to achieve, and you as student reps are really important in that, because whereas we won't be talking to every student, you guys will be in your cohorts.
Including me, there are 4 full-time officers who are elected to represent students across the university and SUBU for 1 year. There's Chloe, who's the president, Reese, who's the Vice President of Welfare, and Peter, who's the Vice President of Lansdowne. As well as the full-time officers, there are also full-time members of staff. As a rep, you'll need to know the Representation and Democracy team, which includes Joff, who's the Head of Student Engagement, Gilly, who's our Feedback and Quality Coordinator, Kerry, who's our Partner Colleges Coordinator, Jen, who's our Training Officer, and Sophie, who is our Democracy and Campaigns Coordinator. You'll find the team in the SUBU office above Dillon's or on the first floor of the Student Centre when it opens. Also, you have student experience champions in your school or faculty who are senior members of staff who work alongside us to ensure your student experience is the best it can be.
I also wanted to talk you through SUBU advice, because as student reps they could be really important to you. As student reps, you might get students coming to you with problems of a personal nature and things that wouldn't really be appropriate for you to deal with as a rep, and we wouldn't want you to deal with them. So it's probably worthwhile you signposting those students to SUBU advice. They're free, confidential and independent of the university and of your college, which is a really important thing to remember. So why are you watching this video? As I said at the start, hopefully by the end of it you'll have all the essential knowledge you need to be a really great rep this year. Hopefully also it will give you some of the key skills that you'll need along the way. And also, hopefully by the end of it, you'll have developed some confidence in your role, because if it's your first time, and even if it's not, we want you to be confident in what you're going to be doing this year. So now I'm going to show you a really quick video of what some of the student reps thought about their experience of being reps last year.
So being an international student myself, I was able to bring forth the voice of international students so that it could benefit the students this year and in future years.
As a rep, you have the unique opportunity to experience the rep development scheme, where you can attend different workshops to gain different sets of skills which are useful for both real life and university.
I won Student Rep of the Year for my work that I did with SUBU, so that was really great. That was one of my proudest moments this year. So.
Student reps is the collective name, but you might be referred to as course reps, seminar reps, programme reps. It all means the same thing. As student reps, you'll be predominantly collecting feedback via the SOS, which is the Student Opinion Survey. You'll then take this feedback to your relevant programme or framework team meeting. So as we've said, you'll be collecting feedback from your students via the Student Opinion Survey, or SOS, which is an online survey. There's 3 of these a year. The first 2 are about course matters and general academic related issues. And the third survey, because it comes at the end of the year, is an evaluation of your whole year, as well as the course related things. It's really important that this feedback is as representative as possible. So ideally, you get at least 75% of your cohort to fill it in. And we'll talk later about all of the ways that you can encourage them to do this. As a rep, you'll need to go to meetings to feedback your students' views. This is usually done in a university meeting for your course called either a programme or a framework team meeting. It's there that you'll feedback the results of the SOS. If you're in a large cohort, this will be the responsibility of the year reps to attend this meeting. There are also student experience forums that all reps will be invited to for you to give feedback about anything to do with your wider student experience. Senior rep officers are also required to attend the SUBU Education Council. This is a meeting with the Vice President of Education and the other senior rep officers from the schools and faculties that happens every 2 to 3 weeks. As well as this, the senior rep officers also attend their school's school or faculty academic board with the Vice President of Education. You said this happened is a really important thing for you as student reps to always have in the back of your mind. It's our way of saying that it's really important to feedback and close that information loop and let the students know exactly what they said and what happened as a result of that. Also, it's really important for you to let us know as well, because we really want to hear about all the changes that you've made. This year at SUBU, any student can submit absolutely any idea online via our website. This idea can be about the university, about SUBU. This slide shows it in a bit more detail. The You're Brilliant Awards is something SUBU's been running for the past couple of years, and it's your way of telling staff that you think are brilliant exactly that. You can nominate them online via the SUBU website, and it can be any member of staff, academic, administrative, they could work in the library or even your shop. It's absolutely anyone that you think has had a positive impact on you. Okay, so the next bit of this video is just a quick session to hopefully help you understand the SOS a little bit more. Hopefully you'll get to know the topics within the survey, how to summarise those comments that you'll get from the survey, and then how to present this information at your meetings. So these are the following themes that are in the SOS. We've got quality of teaching, assessment and feedback, quality of academic support, organisation and management, quality of learning resources, your personal development and overall course quality, and the thoughts on your wider student experience. And one recurring theme there is quality, and that's because this is exactly what the Student Opinion Survey is about. It's about the quality of your experience. The SOS is hosted on the SUBU website all year round, so you can access it at any time. You can find it by going to the SUBU website, subu.org.uk, and clicking on the Your Voice tab at the top. From the drop-down menu, simply select Student Opinion Survey, and then you'll be taken to a page with the SOS link on it. You can then circulate this link out to your students. This is then the first page that you'll see when you click on that link to the Student Opinion Survey, and it's a very quick 30-second video just recapping what the SOS is and why it's important to fill it in. This is then the next page you'll see. The brilliant thing about these SOSs is that they're completely anonymous, but because of that we do need to get a bit of information about you. So you just have to fill in these questions, and it's really important that you and your students know that it's really important for that information to be accurate, because if it's not, your feedback might get lost. This is an example of what the questions look like throughout the survey. As you can see, they're in two parts. So the first part is a quantitative tick box, always ranging from definitely agree down to definitely disagree. This is the only part that's compulsory of the survey, and you'll need to answer this bit before you can go on to the next. Underneath that, you'll see the free writing options. We divide these into keep, stop, start, and that's our way of getting not just negative, but also some positive feedback from you. So keep, tell us the things that you like, and get your students to tell us the things that they really like about their course. Beneath that, we've got stop. Pretty self-explanatory, as you'd expect, the things that maybe aren't going so well and you think your course should stop. And then under that, start. We always say go in with the solutions to the problems, not just the problems themselves, because that makes things a lot easier. So start gives you the opportunity to give suggestions over how you think your course could be improved. This just reiterates it again. So keep, tell us the things you think work well, stop, tell us the things you think don't work so well, and start, tell us about what you think can be improved. It's really important that you're as honest as possible with this feedback. So once you and your students have filled out the SOS, before your framework or programme team meeting, you'll need to condense those results down into what we call an executive summary sheet. So to do this, before your meeting, you'll be sent the results of your student opinion survey and a blank executive summary sheet for you to fill in. This gives you some idea of what to expect when you get your results. There'll be a table displaying the results for the tick boxes from definitely agree down to definitely disagree. There'll also be a chart alongside this representing the data. After the numbers, you'll then see the raw comments that your students have answered under all of the sections for keep, stop and start. It's your job as a rep to summarise these comments, as some of them might not be appropriate to take to a minuted meeting. You'll then put all of this information from your results into the executive summary report. As you can see, you'll put the key points from the tables and graphs. You'll then put the key main headline points from each keep, stop and start section. This way you condense the information and make sure nothing inappropriate is going to be going to the meeting. So just to summarise all of that, when you get your results, you'll need to read through the report, decide what the key points from the graph are, and pop those into the executive summary sheet. You'll then need to read through the raw keep, stop, start comments, cross out any that are inappropriate, and then decide on what the key themes are, and then put those also into your executive summary sheet. You'll then take both of these reports to your meeting. So, just to clarify that process again, you'll get your SOS link from the website and send that out to your students. The SOS then automatically generates a report that you'll be sent, and then it'll be your job to summarise that into an executive summary sheet and take that to your meetings. So, after your meetings, that's not quite the final step. There's one more thing that you'll need to do, and that's you said this happened. It's really important that you close that information loop and you tell your students all about the things that's happened in those meetings. Even if no changes have happened, just tell them exactly what has happened so they'll know that their information is really useful. So hopefully by now you feel a bit more familiar with the SOS and you understand it and you'll understand what you have to do with it. So now we're going to do a small section on how you can encourage your students to fill in the survey. Hopefully by the end of this little section you'll be familiar with the ways that you can communicate the SOS. You'll have in your back pocket some of the negative things that students might say to you, but also some of the positive reactions that you can have to encourage them to fill in your survey. And you'll also know where to get help, just in case you are struggling. So, we'll just have a quick look at some of the negative excuses you might get from the students. So those might be no time. They might say to you, I don't have any time to do it, or something along those lines. They might also say that they've got no access to a computer, or their internet's broken at home, something along those lines. This is one you might get, and people might say to you, they filled it in last time, but actually they don't think anything happened. Or, alternatively, you might get someone that says, do you know what, I'm happy with everything and I've got nothing to complain about. And last but not least, you might have that person that says, do you know what, I'm just one person, what changes am I going to make? They're all valid things that students might say to you. So now we're just going to have a very quick look at some of the things that you can say as a student rep to help combat that. So if someone says to you, I don't have any time, now knowing what you know, you can say to them that it only takes a couple of minutes, and especially if they only do the tick boxes, they can run through the survey in about 5 minutes. If they say that they've got no access to a computer or the internet, you can encourage them to do it at college. If they say that they filled it in last time and they don't really understand why, no changes will happen, this is why you need to have some examples of you said this happened, because that way you can say to them exactly what's going to happen as a result of them doing the survey. If they say, I'm happy with everything, you can say, brilliant, that's great, then use this survey to tell us exactly the things that you like by filling in the keep comments. And then also, you might get people, as we said, that say, I'm just one person, but emphasise how important their feedback is. Every comment that gets written in the SOS will be read by someone, whether it's you as a rep condensing the information, or whether it's us as a team here. Someone is going to read that information, and together, if we get the most responses possible, it's going to be really representative, so changes can happen. So now I'll have a very quick look at the ways that you can communicate the student opinion survey to your students. So you've got the obvious one of Facebook and Twitter. You might have a Facebook group for your cohort of students, so that's a really great place to post the link. Or equally, you might be friends with them individually, so you can send them the link that way. In lectures is a really great place to promote the SOS because you've got your whole group there on tap. Ask your lecturers if you can have maybe 5 minutes at the start or the beginning of the lectures just to talk to your students about the SOS and encourage them to do it. Hopefully your lecturers should be really encouraging of this. There's also good old face-to-face. You can just ask them, when you see them, if they've done the survey, and keep prodding them that way. And then also email. You might want to be a bit careful with this one because sometimes people might not read the emails, but it's always a good one just in case. So, hopefully knowing all you know now, you'll be really confident in giving the SOS to your students. But if you are still struggling a little bit, where can you get help from? Well, there's me. As the Partner Colleges Coordinator, as I said before, I'll be your first port of call, but anyone in SUBU will be more than happy to help. You can also talk to your course or your programme staff. As we said before, because this is student feedback, they should be really encouraging, so you can always talk to them. You can also hopefully ask your programme administrator if you need the email addresses of the people in your cohort. And also, don't forget to ask other reps. Someone you know might have stumbled on a brilliant idea of how to get all of their students to fill in their survey, so just keep talking to each other.
There was a lot of information there, but hopefully you feel armed with the knowledge you need to be a great rep. The last thing we want to tell you about is the Rep Development Scheme. The RDS is your opportunity to gain extra skills, and we run over 14 workshops which you can attend, both rep specific and about general employability. We have 3 levels of achievement: bronze, silver or gold, and whichever level you achieve, you'll be invited to the Rep Development Awards evening later this year. This opportunity is only available to student reps, so it's a great chance for you to gain some extra skills and make your CV stand out. Now you've seen this video, all that's left to do is answer a few questions about what you've seen. You can find these questions below this video. Once you've answered these, you can head up to the SUBU office on Talbot campus to pick up your purple rep hoodie and your rep folder. If you're based at Lansdowne, just let us know and we can make sure there's a rep hoodie waiting for you there too. Thanks for watching!